Hello, everybody, and welcome to Greek This Week. I'm sorry that it's been a couple weeks since I've made another Greek This Week video. I was on vacation and still getting back into the swing of things, but happy fall, and I hope you're having a good fall so far. So this week, I want to focus on this word karpos. Karpos, quite simply, means fruit. And there can be several different sort of shades of meaning throughout the Septuagint. And just as a reminder, in these most recent videos of Greek This Week, I'm focusing more on Greek words from the Septuagint. That is, the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures. First, the 5 books of Moses, the Torah, completed in Alexandria in the Jewish community there sometime in the 3rd century BCE. So we're focusing more on these Greek words from the Septuagint. And part of the reason for that is that the Septuagint is the primary form of the Scriptures used by the New Testament authors. So if we want to go deeper into the New Testament, which was, of course, composed and written in Greek, the Gospels and the letters, then we might want to take a look at the Septuagint because that's where we're going to find the closest linguistic parallels to the words and perhaps even the theology used in the New Testament by those writers. So here's a word, karpos. Now this word, let's start with in the New Testament. Paul uses this word in Galatians chapter 5 in reference to what he calls the fruit of the Spirit, or the fruits of the Spirit, in contrast to works of what Paul calls the flesh. So Paul is creating a contrast here between the flesh and the Spirit. That's a big topic for another time, but let's just start with karpos. So Paul is using this word karpos, fruit of the Spirit, to describe a variety of, let's say, gifts or fruits. Now, this word is used a lot in the Septuagint, and we've been focusing recently on Genesis chapter 1, a very mysterious, perhaps even mystical text. This word appears in Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, in reference to the first tree. Perhaps it's even the first plant, maybe, but definitely the first tree is already, we hear, fruit-bearing. So the very first tree bears fruit, which is interesting in and of itself. That fruit is almost inextricable from the first appearance of a tree on the earth. Now, this word karpos is also used at other points in the Septuagint, like in the book of the prophet Micah, to describe the fruit of, in Micah's words, the human belly, that is human offspring or babies. So karpos can also be used to describe human offspring or human fruit, if we want to put it that way, which is another interesting use. And it's also used in reference to sort of the fruits of human labor throughout the Septuagint. So the fruits of labor. Now that meaning is interesting in relation to what's discussed in Genesis chapter 3 and the kind of so-called curse, if we want to use that word, that God puts on the serpent, on Eve, on Adam. And we hear that Adam has to live by sort of the fruit of his labor, and there will be some kind of pain or suffering involved in this, but of course it's in relation to the earth. So what does this all mean? A lot of different meanings of the word karpos. We see definitely a positive use, right? A kind of positive meaning in Paul's discussion of fruits of the Spirit. And it seems it's quite positive here too, that fruit is indeed a beautiful and good thing in Genesis chapter 1. So I hope that encourages some reflection and insight for you all, and I hope you've enjoyed Greek This Week. Thank you.